DeAndre Ayton. Did I say his name right? I know I did
Yes.
this time. So I'm proud of myself. Kudos on the back. It only took 5 seasons to get it right. So an Instagram model allegedly claimed she was abandoned in Turks and Caicos after refusing sexual advances by DeAndre. But however, later she ended up clarifying that it was not by him. He had no involvement. It was actually by his driver. And she emphasized that it was not by him. But that's not how the story came out first. The story came out first was that she was stranded. She had no money and she didn't have no way back. All because she said no to sex. What do y'all think about that?
Before we talk about it, because I feel like the revelation that Shorty clarified things, kind of got in the way of us having fun with the story, right? Because initially it was about, whether or not it was okay for him to leave Shorty, stranded if she wasn't giving up the box after he flew her out there. So we're going to still do that. But I just want to clarify on the front end where like the story took a little turn. But with the turn, I'm going to throw this out. There's a little extra. Now, the entitlement from the driver and the help of said superstar. So I think there's two conversations here, right? One, if in fact you fly somebody out to Turks and Caicos, she ain't giving up the box, would that be out of bounds? Is he wrong for that? Even though it's not the case here, but we're going to pretend like it is. And then two, the entitlement from the help, right? Because I guess the driver in this case felt like, hey, he was entitled to some box because he was driving her from the airport. So what are your thoughts? I just want to clarify because the story changed a little. Yeah, because apparently the driver or the help was the one who I guess turned her away, and she clarified it wasn't DeAndre. So yes, that kind of gets in the way of us having fun, but fuck that. We're going to still say DeAndre left Shorty because she wasn't giving the box. And bonus is that like the help being entitled, right? So what are your thoughts?
I mean, there's like some shades here. Like, at what point did the driver be like, yo, you ain't putting out, I'm leaving you here? Was it when she first got there? You know what I mean? Was it fresh off the plane? He's like, hey, shorty, let's both get in the back seat. She's like, nah. He's like, all right, you stay here. Like, when and where he told her that she was on her own for the trip kind of matters a little bit in the story for me. But I think the bigger thing here is, first, it's poor planning on her part. I blame her. I know you ladies think she's a victim and you think I'm blaming the victim, but I blame her. Why are you going to go to way out of the country and you don't have money to get back and you don't have a return ticket? How do you agree to go out there and you have not secured your way back and you can't afford to get back on your own? Ma'am, if you can't afford to get back on your own, you better play nice till you can get to where you need to be. You understand what I'm saying? Women been doing it for years with ugly dudes, with dudes uglier and more out of shape than this dude. So please, park it. I haven't seen the driver. I don't know what he looked like. I'm not saying she should lower her standards, her body, her choice. She made the choice to find another way home. Now, was the driver right? I don't know. He left her and DeAndre was like, psh.
I don't believe the whole driver smokescreen thing anyway, so I'm just going to give my original opinion. Like, if you fly somewhere, whether someone takes you, it's a vacation or anything, why would you go somewhere if you don't have money? I'm always perplexed by that. And why, in the year of the good Lord 2025, would you travel somewhere and not expect to be hunching? If this man has paid, you knew him before you traveled. Yes, the expectation is that you know what you're here for. And you're not here for a besties trip. It's not a promise ring trip. Like, yeah. So you get stranded. I don't believe the driver stranded you. I believe he did. And now you're doing damage control because you want to still get that D now that you're back in the States and it's cheaper to keep her.
I'm so confused. And I think I'm gonna cry because what are y'all talking about, right? Because listen, I'm all for the shenanigans of if DeAndre left her stranded, but Jay said something about like he gonna blame her. How? Like, listen, let's just say for face value what she said was correct, right? I'm mad, right? Let's say, for example, the help being entitled to ask where they do that at. He's fired immediately. If you're working for me and you think because you're in my orbit, that somehow deserves you some ass, nigga, you ain't out there getting no rebounds. But my point is, like, if you were the help, the nerve of you to have that type of entitlement, and that's number one. So I'm just, again, if she said what she said, because she cleared it up, and she was ridiculing the public because her initial statement did say, oh, DeAndre security, something, didn't have sex with me, and something like that. So there was enough, even in her original statement, for what she had said afterwards to be true. And so I'm focused on the fucking entitlement from the fucking help. If you don't sit your ass down, I wish you would look at my work like that. You know what I'm saying? You at work. You know what I'm saying? That's my work. You're not supposed to look at my work at work. You know the fuck? So that's number one. Number two, if that was the case, of course she would have gave DeAndre some ass. She knew what time it was, and she had a lot of it to give. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. So I'm not even gonna put that on her. She know exactly what time it was. Tia, I'm saying if the fucking driver was cock blocking, he is fired. You know what I'm saying? That's number two. Number three, if DeAndre would have invited her, and let's say she got there, and then she's like, nah, I'm good, then why would she want to spin the block? Bitch, you ruined your chance the first time. You think you're going to have it. If I flew you out somewhere, you give me blue balls, right? And you think, oh, by making the story look better for me by saying it's the driver, you're going to get back in my good graces? Bitch, I ain't flying you nowhere ever. You know what I'm saying? I won't even walk across the street to hit it. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, you're going to have to walk across the street to be able to get some of this D, okay? This Los Angeles Lakers speed, okay? So I'm sorry. I believe her a little bit for some reason, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Right? I agree with you, Tia. If a woman's flying to a spot to be with a baller, girl, what you doing? Shit, if DeAndre Ayton flew me out and I agreed, I'm giving him some. But I'll say this and I'll land. If I invite somebody halfway across the world or across the Caribbean Sea, it is implied, if we're vibing in any way, shape, or form, that we're fucking. Now, I think people just got to be honest. Nowadays in 2025, you got to say it. You got to say, hey, I'm going to buy you these tickets to Turks and Caicos. When you get here, we're fucking. Is that cool? You know what I'm saying? Growing up, that's not how you did it. Because even saying that would turn a woman off. Y'all women be playing these funny games. Y'all want the truth, but not really, because y'all want to feel like a hoe. So I got to play the little game with you. Hey, you coming through? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's fair to say we all kind of agree to the same rules. If it's implied, like when you go to a restaurant, they don't tell you got to pay right now, but you know you got to pay before you leave. And if you don't, the restaurant has every right to treat you like a vagabond.
So originally, when I first heard the story as well, my first thought was like, dang, that's messed up because to be honest, the minute she said no and he fell, he decided, well, you know what? You knew what it is and you didn't proceed on your part of the bargain because I'm pretty sure she understood what it was if that's what it was. And then when she came out and clarified, I'm like, oh shit, hold on a second. Hold on a second. This is that audacity that people were talking about, the audacity of the driver to assume that he can get some, what I'm going to call background ass, right? Like he thought because DeAndre may have already hit it, that now he had next. You know, he thought it was a team sport. And she wasn't playing on the team. She was like, nah, this ain't how we rocking. This ain't a team sport. This just he got the ball. You know, not team sport. We're not passing the ball to you. And so I was like, damn, that's messed up with the DeAndre. But then when I heard more about it, I was like, okay, the audacity. This is audacious. This guy was out of pocket. And to be honest, I would have fired his ass too. Like, yo, what the fuck? Your job was to drive her to the airport. Your job was to get her from point A to point B. And once she got to point B, to release her, not threaten her, or I'm not saying he threatened her, but not basically ask for some punani because you thought by default, because of my proximity, you deserved the punani. There's no proximity punani in this picture. And so I said, wow, that's amazing. But then it made me think about the larger picture of women being flown out and stranded. And I was like, first of all, sis, why you got no goddamn backup plan? You flew out there with no money? You flew out there with not even a credit card? Like, come on, stop it. You need to prep. You too grown not to have prep and have some extra money or any type of money. As a matter of fact, you don't got no ATM card. You can't get a wire withdrawal. Too many ways to secure the funds in this day and age for you not to come with any or have access to any. Matter of fact, you could have phoned a friend and be like, yo, I'm stranded. Can you somehow send me some cash so I can get back? But once again, it's all about preparation. At the end of the day, we talk about safety and we talk about security, but the main person who's supposed to safe and secure you is you. So to the women who get flown out, please have that backup plan because men can switch up at any time. It's not saying that's what he did. And same for the men who get flown out. Have a backup plan because that woman could be like, you know what? I'm good. Thank you for your service, sir.
So listen, real quick before we pass it to Tia, I do want to say this though. The flight back home from Turks and Caicos is different than from Vegas. or LA. You know, when you go international, because some people may have it like I got a couple hundred, but they may not have a couple of thousand. So you may not have friends you could call like, hey girl, I was stranded in Turks and Caicos. You got an extra 1,500. So I'm just saying, be careful where you go when you get flued out. If it's domestic, you might be all right. International, it's a crapshoot.